I'm Carrie Peters, a recognized thought leader in the Microsoft Dynamics community and a Microsoft MVP for business application. Welcome to the Get Your New View podcast. Keep listening to learn how we work with frustrated Business Central and Nav users who struggle to use their system and find the answers that they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better business decisions, and even love their system. This season, we are sharing information about new Business Central functionality released by Microsoft in the 2025 Wave 1 release.
Welcome to the top time-saving tips, where I'll showcase some functionality in the 2025 Wave 1 release. As an overview, these are the different specific areas that I will cover with new release features. This session is not necessarily intended to save you huge chunks of time, but you will notice that with each of these kind of smaller improvements, you may save a few minutes here or there. You can see that some of these have to do with data and analyzing data, whereas others have to do with navigating through the system, viewing attachments in the system, and other various user interface enhancements. Additionally, I will cover a point about the new 1099 submission functionality. For this session, I've included my own demo wherever possible, but for some of these features, they are not available as of the date of this recording, so I've included links and screenshots with explanations on how I see these features improving our use of the system. In analysis mode, we will now be able to add fields from related tables. And Microsoft shows that this will be available for public preview in June of 2025. So I can't come up with my own example, but what I did here is I took the information from learn.microsoft and I put it into the PowerPoint slides to be able to show you. The feature details include some screenshots, and this is just showing how you can add the additional related fields and columns. So in this one, we can see there's a drop down under the analysis mode tab, and we can select add columns from, and we can select any of those related tables. Similarly, we can also select the add columns from within the different columns of that analysis mode table. In their example, they've showed adding the contact email into the customer analysis. The caption of email directly above it shows contact, so it does show that this is from a related table. To go along with the new and improved 1099 functionality in Business Central, Microsoft has also introduced the ability to submit these forms electronically, and this will become available in 2025 for public preview. Some things that Microsoft notes about this functionality is that it will integrate directly with the IRIS platform to submit, and it will ensure accuracy and compliance with all of the IRS regulations. Additionally, we will be able to track the status on the IRIS transmission page within Business Central. It is important to note that this feature will only be available for Business Central Online. This is a screenshot of the IRIS transmission page that Learn.Microsoft showed with the new release feature, and this is where we'll be able to track the status of the different 1099 forms that we are submitting. An area of Business Central that has historically caused some pain points is adjust cost. So Microsoft is introducing some things to make troubleshooting around this easier. Now, I won't read through each of these individually, but you can take a look, and I will be sharing screenshots of a few of these as well. These are two screenshots that Microsoft shared on Learn.Microsoft. We'll see the top one has the option to adjust cost until valuation date, and the bottom screenshot is the ability to adjust cost for selected orders, which we couldn't do previously. The screenshot on the screen right now shares a current view of the inventory cost adjustment screen, specifically focusing in on the diagnostics action on the action bar. The new diagnostics bar will have some additional options. First, you can see a notification at the top that we can review some action messages because the system has detected some potential issues. We can also get into those action messages under diagnostics, and we have the ability to now delete item data. So you can see that we have some new options that we didn't have previously. If I do click into those action messages, we can see some information on what might be causing problems. So all of these things that previously we might have had to troubleshoot on our own, the system is attempting to give us better information on so that we can identify the source of any errors. If we look at the request window for adjust cost item entries, this is the current view on the left. And on the right is the new view, and we can see that this is where the item by item adjustment is introduced. And the reason for this is so that that system can actually make progress and save that progress without having to completely rerun the process and start over if there is an error that it gets hung up on. Something else I'd like to talk about is some new options with report layouts. The current report layouts page looks as such, and we will notice that with the new report layouts page, we have a new action on the action bar called layout with some additional options like update and export layout, export the report schema, validate the layout, and show the layout information. Validating the layout is one of the biggest improvements because it allows the end user to be able to validate and troubleshoot anything that might be wrong with the layout without getting the help of a developer or partner. We can now add more columns to certain pages. One example that I really like is the option to add the work description to the sales order archive documents. We could also do this with sales quotes that are in the sales quote archive, so this allows us to see that work description even when that document is in an archived status. This is a list of some other areas where we can add more columns, and I've pulled some of the examples out of the learn.microsoft page. If we look all the way at the bottom of this list, we can see that it shows that we'll have the ability to add the customer number to posted purchase invoices, posted sales credit memos, posted sales invoices, and posted sales shipments. Similarly, with the vendor number, we'll be able to add this to posted purchase credit memos and posted purchase invoices. Now, I was a little bit confused when I read this for a couple of reasons. One, I was pretty sure that we already were able to see our vendor number and customer number on the posted document pages. And I checked, and we are. So to me, this is not something that is more columns or new. So again, just a little bit confused about how Microsoft is presenting it. Additionally, with the customer number, it's showing we can add it to the posted purchase invoice, but we wouldn't really have a customer number on a posted purchase invoice. So again, I just wasn't really quite sure what was intended by this. And just in case you think that maybe I read it wrong, I wanted to share the learn.microsoft screenshot about the customer number field and the vendor number field. The other thing that I noticed is at the bottom, there's a note that the author created the article with assistance from AI. So I thought maybe this was something that was generated or summarized incorrectly, and maybe the author just didn't catch that there were a few things on here that we already either have, or one thing that doesn't make sense with adding the customer number to the posted purchase invoice. Regardless, I think that it's exciting that we are going to have more columns available to add to different pages in 𝗬𝐶, because a lot of this related information can be very helpful when we are reviewing those different pages. This is a user interface enhancement that I think many will be excited about. On the item list in Business Central, I can see I now have the ability to resize my FactBoxes. So this is a small improvement by Microsoft, but I think that this will make a huge difference for a lot of users. Within our FactBoxes, we have attachments, and more recently, we've been able to see the documents listed out with having to click into each of the attachments. With the newest release feature, we will actually be able to drop down into the documents and click on View to be able to view the attachments without having to download them first. This will open the attachment directly within the web client, and the user can download it from there if they want to. There are some other various user interface enhancements, and I have them listed out here, and I'll walk through a few of them with screenshots and examples. I wanted to cover some additional FactBox updates. The FactBox pane has new curved corners as the layout, and you can see that it kind of separates the FactBox from the rest of the screen. In addition, we can now resize those FactBoxes. So on the left is the current FactBox look, and on the right is the new FactBox look. In Role Explorer, there are a few improvements, such as adding the little tooltip, that eye, to give us more information on what each thing is, as well as the option to open it in a new window. In the company picker, the current view is on the left, and on the right, it is improved to show that this is actually the search bar. So this is a very small change, but nonetheless, I wanted to demonstrate it. The Copilot prompt is updated as well. In the current view, you can see that the Copilot prompt is almost kind of looks like a page or a calculator or a window. And in the new one, it looks like a little sparkle icon. So when you see this new Copilot prompt icon, you know that that is your option to be able to open and use Copilot.
Yeah, I was just talking with a customer just last week about all the capabilities that we have with being able to expose columns now in a number of different scenarios. And that may replace a lot of the add-on reporting functionality that we see for things, because in the past, people have used reporting options just to get access to fields that they couldn't get access to before. So I think that that particular functionality in the analysis view and in some other areas is a game changer for just ad hoc reporting in general, where we can do more stuff on screen because you don't have to submit a ticket to get access to a field. And it's interesting watching the evolution of this, because we've seen access to those fields in filtering, where you could reach them through filtering, but you couldn't put them on your screen. So I've seen people create some really elaborate things with filters, but then they can't see the data. And now we're moving to, okay, now we can see more or hopefully all of the data. So I just think it's fascinating to see how this is fitting the needs of modern business people and their capabilities to do things on their own without having to have somebody else, from their IT department or partner, really much more self-service for that kind of thing.
I've since learned that Microsoft would like us to refer to it as data analysis rather than analysis mode, but I think the tooltip says analysis mode. But even in the data analysis mode, we'll call it, I think a lot of users were trying to use that as new functionality and finding, oh, I don't have everything I need on the customer list. So just the ability, like you said, to be able to now merge different tables with it is really cool, because that, would be very difficult to do on any of those standard reports.
I'm Carrie Peters. Thank you for tuning in to the Get Your New View podcast. For more episodes like this on YouTube, click the subscribe button and ring the bell to ensure you get notified whenever new content comes out. If you're listening to the audio podcast, please share an honest review on Apple Podcasts. If you're ready to rethink today for tomorrow, contact us to speak with our expert team. You won't find the level of no-nonsense, real-world experience we offer anywhere else, and we're here to put that experience to work for you.